person you want to hire is going to be very involved in their own district at that time. And their attention might be more, well, gee, I got to get school started where I am now, and before I can concentrate on this. So it gives us a little more time to do that. And anyone you hire, frankly, if they started September 1st, or if you concluded September 1st, all the planning for your new school year has to be done before that time. It's not done now. So that's another consideration. As I said, we did pare this down to make it tighter. This is our recommendation, but again, you have to feel comfortable with it.
Can I chime in?
No, absolutely.
You can.
6 weeks is pretty much, we have done it in less, but we've never been happy with doing it in less, because the very most important period of time is for when our 36 partners take your and your community's description of what you want, and we go out and try and find that person. And odds are that person is, as Steve has already said, isn't thinking about you. They're just doing a great job. He or she are sitting at their desk working hard to get their job done. And it'll take one of us to go into that office and say, look at this brochure, it describes you. This really is you. You should think about this job. Now, the second problem we find is very good superintendents don't think about leaving, so they're not ready. And then we will say to them, but you must have 3 current letters. You must have 3 current letters. The vast majority of successful superintendents do not consider that because they're successful. They don't think about leaving.
3 current letters
of recommendation, plus we would like 2 or 3 that provide a history for you to see a picture of these people when you look at their file. But we want 3 current letters from the board, from perhaps the Teachers Association, from perhaps the mayor, you know, a whole array of pictures. They don't have those. So now they have to get them. And we have to help encourage them to get that file together. And some people will say, well, if they're not organized and they're not ready, so what? That doesn't describe the kind of person we want. Yes, it does. You don't want somebody who's really looking, who's on the run, who wants to get out. You want somebody who's doing a great job and isn't thinking about this district. You want somebody who is recruited because they fit your characteristics. And that's why we often do more than 6 weeks. 6 weeks is really an important time for us to be knocking on doors, getting you the best people available.
When we've shortened the timeline, it's often been when we get a late start in the winter or the spring, and we know, because we experienced it once, gosh, there would be a lot of openings during this period of time, and there are just so many candidates. And we've experienced, in one case, where the board hired us rather late, and we were closing sometime in the spring. Of the 7 candidates that we identified and said we want to do some more reference check, 3 of them said, I just took a job. And we felt, in hindsight, that should have been shortened. In this case, there will be other superintendencies open during this, but very few. And so the competition, what we more worry about is being able to get people's attention so that they'll look at Morgan Hill and see that's important. We certainly notify our 36 members that whatever job we're doing this job. But what we also say is, until we have the board identify the criteria, you really don't know on which basis to recruit people, because every district is very different.
Well, it's just